I know there are many ways to make tumblers out there using your Cricut. I wanted to share with you this unique method of combining alcohol inks with vinyl to create these stunning tumblers. Do you like the coffee swirl one or Galaxy better? Please comment below. Let's get started.
Please subscribe and ring the bell.
Step 2 is to spray paint your cup with black matte spray paint. The key to having no drips is to hold your spray paint can about a foot away and constantly be moving the spray paint can as you move around the cup. After it dries, apply a second coat as needed. You want to mix 10 ml of each bottle for a total of 20 ml of Alumilite Clear Cast Epoxy. I have attached in the description below the links for all the products that I used in this tutorial. You want to make sure as you're mixing your epoxy you stir very slowly to avoid excess bubbles. Once you start mixing and notice that there are no swirls, you set a timer for 3 minutes and continue mixing until your 3 minutes is up. Then you're ready to start applying that epoxy to your cup. With your cup on the cup turner, while it is on, you just slowly start pouring the epoxy onto your cup and using your finger or a stick to smooth it on. You want to be careful not to get an excess amount inside of your mug, but you do want to make sure you cover the epoxy onto the bottom of the cup. After your epoxy is smooth and even on the outside of your cup, you can now apply your alcohol inks. It's very important to make sure that your alcohol inks are well mixed prior to dripping them onto the outside of your cup. I did not use any particular pattern or order. I just randomly dripped them to the outside, just in random spots. On the black you can still see the colors, but it is hard to tell exactly where they are, especially from the camera, but you can see with your eye where you have dripped the inks. After you have applied the different colors that you want, the next thing you want to do is apply the white. And to get a more uniform swirling effect to it, I went ahead and took my cup off of my cup turner and held it upright. I also used the white and dripped it from the bottom and then flipped it upside down and dripped it from the top moving down and held it there to let gravity pull some of the inks and the colors downwards, and I got a much more even swirl. Then I returned it to the cup turner and then just let it continue to spin and turn for the next 6 hours without touching it and with the continuous motion. And it will actually continue to swirl for quite some time and mix in. After 10 minutes of applying the epoxy, then you are actually able to put some alcohol on the outside of it to pop any excess bubbles. I had just filled a small spray bottle with 91% alcohol, and I just sprayed a couple spritz all around, and that helped pop any bubbles that I might have still had on the outside of the epoxy. Because the epoxy has not been fully cured, it is still slightly tacky. In order to get your decal onto your cup without pulling off the epoxy, it is very important to make sure that your transfer tape is not super sticky. So I had put it on my shirt and pants just a few times so that it was not going to stick really strongly to the outside of the cup and take off the epoxy that I'd applied the day before. Then you mix one more coating of epoxy. I used 10 mLs, but you can use anywhere from 10 to 20 mLs for the last final coat. The thing to keep in mind is with epoxy, the smaller the volume, the longer it takes to cure. The larger the volume, the quicker it cures, which is kind of opposite of what you would normally believe. So it may take longer for the second coat to dry than the first coat. And you want to make sure that this is fully cured for 3 to 7 days prior to using. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. I would love to see what other tumblers everyone else has made and what you think. Thank you. Bye.
If you love my mommy's video, give her a thumbs up.